makes a significant part of your total pay. So that is the difference compared to other organizations in the central government. So then coming to the promotion system. So basically we have APAR, means annual performance appraisal report, in which what happens, here in BRC, not just BRC, in DAE, every year for the upcoming year, we generally set the targets, certain targets, and then that year we will work towards accomplishing those targets. And by the end of next year, our higher officials, senior scientists will assess our performance and our accomplishments, and accordingly they will alert you grade. Like in college we have A, B, C, excellent, these grades. Like here also there is a grading system, and based on that grading system, we will get qualified for the promotion interviews. So once you are selected for interview, then again there will be an interview of committee in front of you, in front of which you need to appear, and if you clear that interview, then you will be given the promotion. So basically that's why it is called merit based promotion system. So here we start out from scientific officer C position, we will go to from C to D, D to E, E to F, G, H, and then outstanding scientist and distinguished scientist. This is the highest scientific position in India that you can go get out in DAE. And if you see the actual position, like you can reach up to the principal scientific advisor to prime minister position in Indian government from your career in DAE. Okay, so then coming to the opportunities in the international opportunities, basically the ITER, means the thermonuclear fusion reactor that is being assembled in Europe with international collaboration, and the CERN, that Large Hadron Collider for particle physics experiments. These two are the projects, international projects, in which DAE is having significant part of collaboration. So even recently, just 2-3 days back, on Friday or Thursday, I have got a notification that there are 9 positions available in ITER for recruitment. So similarly, we get such kind of opportunities we get every year to join these projects, so that we can take permission from our department and go there and do the work. Okay, and one of the most important is that here is for career growth, our academic development. So scientists, whenever they want to improve themselves in academic qualification, so they can pursue their masters or postgraduate degree, diplomas, or PhD by Homi Bhabha National Institute. This Homi Bhabha National Institute is also located wherever these research R&D organizations are located. So with the guidance of the scientists in that R&D organization, the scientists can do their higher studies also. In certain extraordinary cases, even postdoc outside outreach is also allowed. So this is how there are so many career growth opportunities in DAE. Okay, so with this I am concluding this OCS DGFS recruitment process. So now I will give a brief overview of other career opportunities. So as actually we were very fortunate that being from rural background and economically backward categories, so RGKT has given us a good chance to finish up our bachelor's degrees in engineering. But there might be so many friends of us, relatives of us, known people who could not do it, even if they have so much of skill and enthusiasm to do. So even if they are having this HSC or maybe +2 or ITI or diploma degrees, and they are competent enough, they can apply for this scientific or technical staff positions in DAE. So these are considered as Cat 1, Cat 2 trainees. So basically this doesn't happen on a DAE level, this happens at the unit level. So different units release the recruitment notifications on their own requirement, and the selection is like first there will be a screening exam and interview and the skill test. Like if it's a ITI or diploma holder, there will be skill test also. So based on that, they will select the candidates for Cat 1 and Cat 2 training. And Cat 1 training is for for 1 year and Cat 2 training is for 2 years. And once during this training, they have exams, skill tests, and other site visits and many things, practicals. And once their training is over, based on their performance, they will be inducted into the department into various units. So this is how the Cat 1 and Cat 2, this is how the scientific assistants, technical assistants, technicians in the DAE are selected. Okay, so more information you can find based depending on the DAE unit and in their recruitment notifications. Okay, you can refer the employment news regularly for this kind of new notifications. Now we can see the opportunities existing for the students. So we have foremost opportunities in summer internships. So whoever is pursuing their bachelor's or master's degrees, so summer internships are available in all the R&D organizations. So the procedure to apply for the summer internship programs is also available in those respective websites. If you go to career opportunities or if you go to student corner, in those websites, there you will find how to apply for these internships. It is generally given up to 2 months for students. And one more thing is that for bachelor's and master's students, whatever 1 year project requirement is there from their institution or university, that project work also can be taken up in the guidance of a scientist from any R&D unit under DAE up to 1 year. That opportunity is also available. And we also have DGFS PhD program in HPNI for the students who has finished their post-graduation in science and engineering disciplines. So you can get the information and details about these programs in Student Corner, in BRC website and all other unit websites. And also you can refer to HBN's website for details about its master's and PhD programs. So last but not the least, so one of the good opportunities for PhD holders. Truly speaking, it is not just for PhD holders, but Dr. K.S. Krishnan Research Associateship. It is called KSKRA Fellowship. So under this fellowship, this is offered in R&D units under DAE. So the candidates who has finished their PhDs or who has submitted their thesis or who has master's degree plus 2 years of R&D experience with a good number of publications, they can apply for this research associateship. The selection is based on the interview by a committee, and the tenure will be initially 1 year and it can be extended up to 1 more year, and the work is as a research associate in the department with any scientist. Then so what advantage the person gets is, one is the research experience and publications, and if the performance is good, then during the second year of the tenure, the committee, local committee for this fellowship, they can recommend this candidate for a scientific officer D position directly into the department. Generally, in the OCS and DGFS program, we will go to scientific officer C position, and during this KSKRA fellowship, you can directly go to scientific officer D position, and in addition to that, up to 4 increments. This language of increments and other things you can understand by looking at this central government pay structure and all. So up to 4 increments means 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of increments additional to the basic level pay of this position can be given. And in very few but very extraordinary cases, the committee can also recommend the candidate to be directly entering in the department in the scientific officer E position. So this is the opportunities that PhD holders have in the Department of Atomic Energy. So these are the various opportunities that we have. So finally, one of the very important thing that we always should take for a balanced life, that is personal life. So you will be coming as a bachelor mostly, and you will be married, you will be having family. So basically, you will be looking for various facilities in the place where you are going to work. So one most important thing is medical facilities. So we have contributory health scheme throughout the DAE, in which there are various hospitals in which health requirements are all taken care. And sports and cultural, so there are so many good sportsmen and other people, and even artists like dancers, singers, and all. So for every type of art and sport, we have facilities and clubs and annual sports meets, cultural meets, mountaineering, trekking expeditions, everything. You just enjoy it. And then coming to the child education, so we have atomic energy central schools, which are equivalent to Kendriya Vidyalayas, and the education is also very good, curriculum is good. And then residential colony. So well-maintained residential colonies are available for every DA unit. And for the recent and new units, they are under construction by DCSA. So this is about personal life in DAE. And finally, I'm going to conclude this. So if you are a job aspirant for DAE, I recommend you to check out the websites of DAE and its units on regular basis. Or you can just subscribe for employment news so that you will get the updates about the various recruitment notifications. And yes, here comes the KYC. So know your company. So if you want to know more about the applications which I have just talked about and what DAE has contributed so far for societal benefits, so I recommend you to watch the recent interviews and webinars by Sri K.N. Vyas. He is the former director of PRC Mumbai, and he is current chairman of AEC and secretary of Department of Atomic Energy. So in these two links, so these links will be made available along with the video, so that you can directly access them. And coming to the DGF interview questions. So the two blocks which I have mentioned earlier, these are the two blocks, and there can be many more blocks which may be discussing these interview questions and which are put in the internet by various candidates who have attended, and you can just Google them. And one more thing is there are certain social media groups like in Facebook. There used to be BRC, OCS, DGFS aspirants. So when I used to be on Facebook, I observed that, and it is also one good group. But don't waste time on these things. Just focus on what you want and get the gainful knowledge and use it. So. So basically, Change Rural India is the NGO which has sponsored this webinar series. So I am very grateful for CRA to give this opportunity, and these are the various links in which you can access to find out the activities that CRA is doing, and to even participate directly in their activities. You can just follow them in these links. So finally, I would like to thank you everyone who has participated in this webinar and who has watched this video. And I hope your time, I think it's around 1 hour 15 minutes, and I hope that your time is justified. And at this moment, I would like to give my thanks to my friend Mohan Murali Krishna, who has told me about this web series and who has invited me to give a talk on Bhabha Atomic Research Center and its recruitment process. And it's a very great opportunity for me. And once again, thank you very much.